All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back again to our Unicity Regional Product Training, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, Brunei, and I hope that everyone is doing great in this marvelous March. Tonight we are going to learn about liver, an organ in our body. Liver has an important role to our body for metabolism. However, probably most of us don't really pay attention and don't care so much about this organ that is reflected to our daily lifestyle. Tonight, our product specialist from Indonesia, Winda, will share with us how we can take care of this precious organ with amazing Unicity products. Without much further ado, Miss Winda Kayanti, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Daniel. Good evening, everyone. Yes, that's correct. Many of us don't really aware what's the function of the liver and why it is really important to maintain our lifestyle so that we still have a healthy, functioning, and long-lasting liver. It matters so much. Liver is about the size of a football in our body. It occupies around 1/3 of the abdomen part. So it's pretty big. While liver itself produce about more than 500 chemical functions in the body. So we can call liver actually as a chemical factory. It has everything that our body needs, such as hormones, vitamins, minerals, proteins. Everything is synthesized or produced in the liver. But there are 5 important functions of our liver. First and foremost, it is for detoxification. You know, there are a lot of products that sells and help us with detoxification process. But actually, our body itself already do a detoxification process every hour, 24 hours continuously. So it helps with taking out the toxins, all the harmful stuff from our body, and secreted through different parts of our body, whether it is through urine, it is through feces or sweating, all the toxins coming out from our system. Second, the function of the liver is for digestion. The liver works by secreting a bile. This bile is stored in a gallbladder, and when we eat, this gallbladder will add some bile to the food that we eat, and it helps to digest the fat. So the fat is broken down so that it will be absorbed, easily absorbed by our body. Next, liver helps with the synthesis of proteins. And if you still remember, there are many kinds of proteins in our body. There are amino acids, and each of these combination makes a different cell structure. And these proteins are very various in the body, maybe around 18,000 types of protein that we need in our body. So they are for cell structure mainly, and then blood clotting proteins, and for albumin production. Albumin is also a part of protein. Albumin helps with balancing the body itself. So albumin level helps balance the water, the minerals in our body. Well, it helps with other system and cells to work properly. Next function is helps with metabolism. It helps with changing any foreign materials. Let's say we have drugs, we have toxic coming into our body. and it's a foreign materials. So the liver acts as a filter. It filters all the harmful materials and then try to digest them, change them into the less harmful one. So the body can either absorb the ones that we need or secrete out the rest from the body. And last function of the liver is as a storage space. There are storage for vitamins, minerals, and these are used for different kinds of stuff in our body, making enzymes, hormone, red blood cells, even our genetic materials, the nervous system, and different vitamins and minerals are also important for our body. For example, the liver is a place to store vitamin K, which is a blood clot materials, vitamin D for bone marrows and increase the bone density, and also liver store minerals such as copper or calcium. So when our body needs it, the liver can release them. Even the iron is also stored in the liver. There are different kinds of liver diseases. I call it as dysfunction. The symptoms are pretty various. It's almost similar to other kinds of diseases, but most common one is jaundice. It is when your body turns yellow. It's more visible if the part of your eye is yellow, and then it goes to your skin, also the whole body. And when the liver disease progress, usually people will feel pain and swelling around the abdomen area in your belly. We call it as ascites. Swelling of legs and ankle, but it's due to water retention. So when you press the body part that is swollen, it will make a dent. It's different from our normal usual flesh. So if we have a, let's say we press our cheek, it will turn back to its normal state. But people with liver dysfunction, when they have swollen legs or ankle, and when we press them, it will leave a mark, a dent. This one is usually people with chronic liver disease. So it's pretty serious. And then you can see a darker color of urine. It's not dark yellow, but it's darker, like brownish, even very dark brown, like of coffee. Other symptoms, which is not really specific, is itchy skin, loss of appetite, no or very less concentration, and commonly like fatigue, nausea, or vomiting. So there are many causes for this, but if you have liver dysfunction, you will feel this also. And interestingly, people who have suffered or survived the COVID-19 also shown a liver injury in their part of the liver. So the virus can enter the liver by inducing what we call as cytokine storms. This cytokine storm is actually a process in which our body produces an immune system that attacks our own cells. So our cell don't know which one is the enemy, so they just attack randomly and start to hurt our organs. So COVID not only affect our organs such as the lungs, heart, but also the liver. When you see a healthy liver, it's like in the left side of your view. When there are diseases, the liver start to have a scar, and when the scar goes too much or when it's too severe, it develops a disease called as cirrhosis. So this is an example of how the liver disease progress. If you have a healthy liver and let's say you get a hepatitis, an acute hepatitis is curable still, but hepatitis B, you already have the vaccine for it. And if you haven't got any vaccine for hepatitis B, I suggested that you get a vaccine for it. This people with acute hepatitis will not feel anything actually unless the disease progress into a more severe stage. If it's too late to diagnose, then it will goes to chronic hepatitis, which shown as you can see a bigger size of abdomen, and when people do some imaging scan, they can see a bigger size of the liver, and then it start to develop scarring, become a cirrhosis, and the end stage of the liver disease can develop into a liver cancer. Once we get liver cancer, it is pretty hard to cure. Well, there are cure for it. Let's say we won't do a liver transplant. It is possible now with the sophisticated technology, modern medicine technology. People can do a liver transplant, but there are risks and complications for it. Let's say first, bleeding. So it's not always compatible if you take someone else's liver. The infection could happen due to the operation process because our liver is pretty big, yeah, the size of a football. So infection is possible, especially when do transplant from the diseased organs. Block blood vessel to the new liver can also cause leakage of bile or blocked bile ducts. New liver is rejected by our body immune system, so our body don't recognize the new liver. The cell might be different, and it has a different genetics materials on it. So the body knows it as a foreign material and try to kill it. So it's rejected by our body. And transplant is not cheap, everyone. It's expensive, and you also have a long waiting list because not every day a new liver, a living liver is available. And about survival rate, well, it's 50-50. 50% of people can live more than 20 years, but usually the maximum amount is 20 years. Around 75% of people would live up more than 5 years, but people who live up to 20 years or more is quite rare. So what are the risk factor? Means what can cause a liver disease? Partly is lifestyle, partly is genetic. So there are two types. Not because of the lifestyle, we called it as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. Let's say you have a good lifestyle, you never drink alcohol, but you have one of this condition. First, overweight or obese. This increase the risk for getting a liver disease. Second, having high cholesterol or triglyceride level. Just one type of level, one type of fat, either you have a high cholesterol or high triglyceride, already increasing the risk. for a liver disease, having type 2 diabetes, insulin resistant, or you are in a pre-diabetes stage. And other hepatitis cause could be virus. There are many kinds of hepatitis virus, A, B, C, D, E. And the autoimmune condition also can cause hepatitis. And not much we see, but there are alcohol-induced hepatitis. It's still a rare case unless in a heavily alcoholic person. So the most important is the risk for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So if you have one of these conditions, either you are overweight or obese, have continuously high cholesterol and triglyceride levels, having type 2 diabetes, insulin resistant, or pre-diabetes, then your risk of getting a liver disease is also increasing. How do we keep the liver healthy? Of course, by having a healthier lifestyle. But lifestyle itself may not be enough. We need to combine the lifestyle, the food that we eat, the lifestyle that we do, the nutrition of course important, and other things, a booster, things that can support the work of our liver. Food, you can eat these kinds of food. If you see here, they are all healthy. No processed, no ultra processed, no instant food. They are all fresh food. You can still take oil. Oil are healthy, but fat could be different. There are trans fat, there are cis fat, there are saturated fat. These fats are bad ones for you, but the healthy fats are in oil form, such as olive oil, and then the oil or the fat from the avocado oil. Still can have butter and also canola, sunflower oil, but again, the number is not much. We use oil only scarcely, very little amount. So eating fresh fruits and vegetables, having a good amount of fibers every day is good with keeping the liver healthy. And then don't forget with additional things such as supplements. These supplements are good that they help with liver functioning. Unicity has many kinds of products, and these products can help with the health of your liver. Remember the risk factors: overweight or being obese, and then high cholesterol levels, diabetes. So people with type 2 diabetes or insulin resistant and pre-diabetes need to control their blood level, the blood glucose level. Why? Glucose, when it enters our body and we don't use it as a source of energy, it will be stored in the body in the form of glycogen. The glycogen is actually stored in the fat cells. So if you eat so much sweet food and so much glucose, you will get fat very easy. With Bio7, it helps with better liver functioning because Bio7 helps with lowering blood glucose. We don't want too much glucose in our body because we can become fat, and too much fat can cause fatty liver. Bio7 helps with improving insulin function, and the lower in insulin levels in our body or if it's a control insulin level, then it is easier for our liver to work because liver also control the production of insulin. Bio7 helps with microbiome. It controls the fat level. Bio7 has a good amount of fiber, and this fiber can help with glucose or sugar level in your body, in the blood especially, and helps with the fat level in the blood, the cholesterol, triglyceride, and LDL especially. And it also helps with weight loss process and weight maintenance. So having Bio7 every time before meal can help you with better liver function. These are some of the data that we can get from using Bio7 for over 6 weeks. So people who take Bio7 twice a day can actually lower their fasting glucose, their HbA1c, lower the total cholesterol, lower the LDL cholesterol, VLDL cholesterol, and lower their triglyceride level. So with the lowering of this cholesterol, triglyceride, and glucose in the blood, in the body, can also help lower the risk of getting a liver disease. So it is a potential to lower all the factors that cause a liver disease. So it is good for you to have Bio7 every time before meal, at least twice a day. Another good product that helps with your liver health is Native Legend Tea. Native Legend Tea made from a natural herbal ingredients. So if you look at the ingredients itself, there are many fruits, plants mostly. It is all herbals using the traditional herbs, and it does not contain any harmful material for our body, and it does not contain any chemicals. It is in a sachet, so it's actually all of these herbs in dried and processed, manufactured in its by the R&D, so in a form of a tea. It's easy to drink and it's easy to make. Native Legend Tea have all of these ingredients that helps with filtering all the harmful materials from the body. It helps with increasing the blood flow. And then Native Legend Tea also helps with removing the toxin from our body. So it helps with the liver function. The ingredients in the Native Legend Tea has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. All our cells in the body needs antioxidant. So it could work properly. It could be protected from free radicals that break the cells. It nourishes the immune systems, helps with improving blood sugar level and diabetes. So people with diabetes and insulin sensitivity or insulin impaired can be helped with taking Native Legend Tea at least twice a day. Helps with cleansing process, purifying the blood, the system, taking out the toxins, of course, through urine, feces, or through our sweat. And that's why when you take Native Legend Tea or other kinds of supplement, it is suggested to drink a lot of water, at least 2.5 liters a day for adults, You can drink up to 3 liters a day. It helps with purifying and cleansing, washing all the systems of your body. And it has a property of diuretic and diaphoretic. It means that it helps you to pee more often. That's why you need to drink more water when you drink native legend tea. It helps with preventing stone formation in the gallbladder, in your kidney as well, and fights with the infection. Okay. And lastly, another great ingredient, a supplement that is naturally occurs in the body. But why do I need to take this ubiquinol coenzyme Q10? You already have it in your body, but the amount might not be sufficient for the whole metabolism. That's why when we age or when we are older, we need to take more supplements that are important for our body. Well, the amount of ubiquinol coenzyme Q10 decreases as we age. Usually from 40 years and above, the amount of coenzyme Q10 in the body start to decline, and it declines very rapidly. That's why we need to maintain them by using supplements. Coenzyme Q10 is fat soluble, so it is stored and found in every cell of our body and also in the fat cell in our body. Well, this part of coenzyme Q10, it acts as an antioxidant. That's why it is found in every cell of our body. It protects our cell from free radical damage. The cell that is broken down by the free radical can grow uncontrollably. We call that as tumor or as cancer. Coenzyme Q10 is also involved in energy production. So it helps with changing the fat supply in our body into energy. It helps with burning fat and help to modulate the inflammation response. Now, inflammation could happen anywhere in the body. We don't really feel it. And unless it is really severe, then we feel them. Inflammation can happen in the internal organ, on the skin, on the outside of our body, and also helps with gene expression. So we can call ubiquinol CoQ10 is actually a genome-ceutical product. There are two different types of coenzyme Q10, the ubiquinone and the ubiquinol. But why Unicity have the ubiquinol coenzyme Q10? Its difference is in the solubility. The form of ubiquinol is actually more soluble. It's water soluble. That's why when we take the ubiquinol CoQ10 and it is digested in the body, the ubiquinol CoQ10 is more absorbable by our body and can easily be digested because most of our body consists of water, and ubiquinol is water soluble. So the cell can use it and our body can digest it, can absorb it more easily. What is a genome-ceutical? It is a nutritional agent whose major mode is through the beneficial regulation of the genome. So it's pretty complicated, but here's the thing. One, certain dietary agent like food or anything that can be found in the nature helps regulate our gene expression. The gene can determine different parts of our body. Let's say a hair color, whether it's black or it's white or yellow, skin color, that's through a gene expression. That's what we can see. But the inside, usually like the development of a disease, for example, heart disease, liver disease, that's also through genetics. And ubiquinol is one of these agents that helps with regulation of gene expression. A normal gene expression is balanced, but sometimes when it is uncontrolled, so the expression is too much or too little, it's not enough. When it is too much, it's become uncontrollable. Let's say when our body cell multiply too much and uncontrollably, it become a malignant cancer cell. But when it is not enough production of something, let's say we don't have enough vitamin, we don't have enough minerals, it can be seen in our body as a deficient. Let's say people who is deficient in iron, deficient in red blood cell production, so people have anemia. So it is everything in our body is controlled through gene expression. The ubiquinol, the coenzyme Q10, helps with response to the body, reduce inflammation process. So inflammation could happen anywhere, anytime. Let's say now during the COVID era, when people got COVID-19, they have inflammation. Some of them have inflammation in their lungs, so their lungs cannot breathe anymore. It doesn't work anymore. It's all full with mucus. And ubiquinol provide clinical protection. What's in the ubiquinol of Unicity? The active ingredient is 30 milligrams per soft gel. So it is suggested to have around 60 milligrams of ubiquinol CoQ10 a day. Adults can take 2 capsules to soft gel per day. And another ingredient is healthy oils such as sunflower oil, beeswax, and sunflower lecithin. So you can take ubiquinol up to 2 per day, around 60 milligrams a day. Okay, so that's all. There are 3 products that can help with the liver health. First, Bio7, and then ubiquinol CoQ10 and native legend tea. The 3 risk factors, if you have overweight or obese, having type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, or having high cholesterol and triglyceride, then your risk of getting a liver disease, usually a fatty liver disease, increasing as well. And maintaining a good lifestyle, having a nutritious food, and taking good supplements that help the work of your liver can help with your liver health. Is there any question? You can write down your question in the chat box, please. Thank you. So it is, usually liver is not really being paid attention with the diseases, because people don't really feel the disease until it is in maybe stage 3 or stage 4 if people get cancer. How long can we take legend tea? So there are no certain time to take legend tea. Native legend tea can be taken every day, just like a regular tea. It is a herbal tea, but still, because it has a diuretic effect, it means that it makes you pee a lot, because the work of the native legend tea is to filter out any toxin, and taking it out, you need to drink a lot of water, 3 liters a day when you take legend tea. And Can chlorophyll detoxify our liver? Chlorophyll has high antioxidant in their chemical body. So actually, with the detoxification process, chlorophyll is more like our blood. The composition of chlorophyll is more like our hemoglobin. So when the hemoglobin works and you take chlorophyll, the function of hemoglobin become more optimal. And this hemoglobin acts as a carrier, as a transport. It takes the nutrients, it takes the waste, the oxygen, the carbon dioxide from our body, and it binds especially with oxygen in our body. So actually the chlorophyll is a good source of antioxidant. It maximizes our transport system. So with better transport system means that you have delivered better nourishment to every organ in the body. You deliver oxygen into every cell of your body, more importantly. So that's why it can maximize the work of each organs. It's not directly detoxify the liver, but it maximizes the work of the liver organ itself. Yeah. So if you want to take chlorophyll powder, you can also drink together. Let's say in the morning, take the native legend tea, and then during the day, you can mix the chlorophyll powder with the water you drink. I want to continue about the stage of liver disease. So usually people will not feel or will not see any symptoms of liver disease until their liver build a scarring, a cirrhosis. And the cirrhosis means that your liver already broken and it doesn't work as it should. And usually it's really hard to cure when you already have cirrhosis because the scar is permanent. Cirrhosis is developed, one of the most happening cause is by fatty liver. If you take a lot of alcohol, drink a lot of alcohol, it could develop fatty liver, or being obese, overweight, then you have a fatty liver. When you go to the gym and you have the machine that can count the percentage of fat in your body, try count the visceral fat. If it's more than 5, then you need to take care and you need to burn more fat of your body, because usually the visceral fat is the fat that are in our organs. We need to have as low as possible visceral fat in our body. It's different to the subcutaneous. Subcutaneous means the fat is under your skin, but it's not in our organ. But if you have a visceral fat, then means that that fat stays in our organ and it develops fatty liver. Native legend tea is not meant for long-term consumption. Is this true? It doesn't say so. Yeah, usually it is suggested for people who are starting with the clear starter tea. So you can do a clear starter tea and take native legend tea for around 1 to 3 months. But for maintenance, you can actually take native legend tea. It is suggested in the box that you can take native legend tea twice a day, but for maintenance, you can take once a day only. Yeah, so there is no contraindications or whatsoever of drinking the native legend tea in a long term. What products to take for gout? So gout usually having to deal with the inflammation process. If you are having an inflammation, then taking ubiquinol coenzyme Q10 is a good start with. And native legend tea is also helping with the overall body system. It helps to increase the blood flow, helps with taking out the harmful stuff from your body. Another product that might be good for the inflammation pain is omega-3 resolve. The resolvin helps with the inflammation reaction. It has an anti-inflammatory. So the combination of ubiquinol CoQ10, omega-3 resolve, and if you can get a CM Lex for the topical use, you can also use it. Another one, we have joint mobility too, or Colaflex. That is also good with helping the joint, the movement, and the anti-inflammatory. No more. An additional, people who have severe gout, it's actually when you already get gout, you will continually get gout every time you eat or have the trigger for it. Let's say in Indonesia, we have plants called jengkol and pete. It's a plant. It is really high in uric acid. So people who have gout, if they take this food, they can have recurrent gout. So the best way to avoid this is to avoid the trigger, what causing the gout. I think that's all for tonight. Yeah. If you still have any questions, you can to contact me through emails or through WhatsApp, through our customer service as well, science.indonesia@unicity.com, or you can ask Claudia too. So everybody, thank you very much. And thank you for joining us tonight with Unicity. See you again in the next 2 weeks. Hope you are all happy, healthy, and safe. Good evening.